I was a mother before I ever got to hold a baby in my arms, or feel a kick, or have the chance to give birth. The tiny being that made me a mother never got to see this world, but she changed me nonetheless. I don't want you to panic. This story is sad, but not hopeless. It's about loss, but it holds at its core a sliver of magic so incredible that it has become an essential part of my life's mythology. Let me tell you about Poppy. When I decided to get pregnant, it happened almost instantaneously. One day we were talking about timing, the next I was staring at a positive pregnancy test. I was overjoyed. I walked around in a mystical haze, cherishing the secret life taking shape inside me. I felt great. I didn't have morning sickness or aches or pains. I called the baby Poppy because when I first discovered her presence, she was the size of a poppy seed, almost non-existent. For nearly 3 months, I carried her in my womb, until Christmas Day, when instead of gifts, I received the horror of spotting. It got worse over the next days until I knew there was no hope. I was going to lose my baby. The days between Christmas and New Year were a nightmare made of blood and desperate attempts to see doctors over the holidays when everything was closed. When I finally had an ultrasound, it was only to confirm what I already knew. This is not a normal, healthy pregnancy, said the technician. They were cold and unfeeling. My miscarriage was not progressing properly. I had the choice of a drug intervention or a D&C. I chose the drugs. The idea of having my baby scraped from my body terrified me. I wanted to honor her loss, be there for her somehow as she left. I still wanted to be her mother in these final moments of our journey together. So I lay in bed for 2 days, waiting for the medication to work and my loss to be complete. It was a dark time. No one knew what to say. My love was so profound, but it seemed impossible to express the depth of my loss. People said it was meant to be, and it's for the best, and you'll get pregnant again. And they were all well-meaning, but their words destroyed me, because what would have been best was to carry a baby to term and hold her in my arms. Having another baby would not replace the one I lost. She will always be my first child, beloved, mourned. It's not for the best. It just is. And in the midst of my agony and grief, as contractions worked to expel my child, as I was lying in bed, drained of tears and energy, a tiny miracle happened. The mail arrived, and with it, an art magazine I subscribed to. I looked at the cover and felt my heart skip a beat. The Poppy edition, it said. And between the covers were page after page of art featuring blood-red poppies. One painting in particular grabbed me, a woman in a white dress, face turned down in grief, with a red poppy on her shoulder, and the words, trying hard to hold myself together. The painting was for me. I contacted the artist and I told her my story. She promised to mail me the painting as soon as it came back from the magazine. While there is no tombstone for my baby, there is the painting, her final resting place. I waited a long time for the painting to arrive. The universe was busy orchestrating another small miracle. There was a morning in spring when I sat staring at my second positive pregnancy test. It had taken us a while, but I was pregnant again. On that day, a brown package arrived in the mail, and I unwrapped the Poppy painting. And so my little girl spoke to me on the day I found myself pregnant with her brother. There was a second painting in the box as well, an unexpected gift from the artist. This one depicted a serene face, a woman looking down on a tiny house, and the words, "I'm ready." The miracle contained in the second painting wasn't apparent until recently. After my miscarriage, I gave birth to my son. 4 years later, I'm pregnant again, this time with a girl. I've been calling the baby Button. I don't know why. The name just came to me and it felt right. One morning, I was standing in the hallway looking at the two paintings, the Poppy woman, forever holding my grief, and the other woman holding my hope. I noticed something strange about the second painting for the first time. Beneath the face of the woman are painted 3 tiny but distinct buttons. Hovering, suspended, they are the period at the end of a long, convoluted sentence. The journey that began with Poppy carried me here to this moment where I am poised to become a mother again. Not for the second time, as might be assumed from the configuration of my soon-to-be family of 4, but for the third. 3 buttons, all in a row.